Below is a video script inspired by the title. "You're coming with me," said the lonely rancher to the woman beaten for giving birth to 3 girls. The script is written in 28 paragraphs, each approximately 400 characters, without headings or scene breaks, as requested. Following the script, I've included 4 image prompts for visuals that could accompany the video. Since you didn't confirm wanting images generated, I'm providing text-based prompts for you to confirm or modify. Video script. Dust swirled across the cracked earth, the sun blazing over the ranch. The lonely rancher, Caleb, leaned against his weathered fence, eyes scanning the horizon. His calloused hands gripped a worn hat. Years of solitude etched lines into his face. He heard whispers from the village about a woman, Mira, shunned for birthing 3 girls. Caleb's heart stirred. Loneliness made him bold, reckless even. Mira knelt by the river, washing clothes, her bruised arms trembling. The village women sneered, their words sharp as knives. 3 girls, no sons, useless, they spat. Myra's eyes stayed low, hiding tears. Her daughters, Lila, Rose, and Ivy, played nearby, unaware of the cruelty. Myra's husband had left scars on her body and soul, blaming her for their failure. She felt trapped, broken. Caleb's boots crunched on the path to the village. He'd seen Mira once, her quiet strength haunting him. The townsfolk ignored him, a recluse with no kin. His ranch was miles away, a lonely empire of cattle and silence. But Myra's story gnawed at him. He'd heard of her husband's fists, the village's scorn. Caleb, hardened by years alone, felt a spark of purpose. He'd find her today. Mira gathered her girls, their laughter a faint light in her dark world. Lila, the eldest, braided Rose's hair while Ivy chased a butterfly. Myra's heart ached. She'd protect them, no matter the cost. The village elder had warned her, leave or face worse. Her husband's return loomed like a storm. She clutched a tattered shawl, praying for escape, though hope felt like a cruel joke in this place. Caleb reached the village square, his shadow long in the dusk. Eyes followed him, suspicious, cold. He spotted Mira by the riverbank, her silhouette fragile yet unyielding. Her girls danced around her, innocent and free. Caleb's chest tightened. He'd never spoken to her, but her pain called to his own. He adjusted his hat, steeling himself. This wasn't just about her, it was about redemption. Mira sensed a presence and turned, her eyes meeting Caleb's. His gaze was steady, not cruel like the others. She tensed, clutching Ivy close. Strangers brought trouble. "Ma'am," Caleb said, voice low, "I heard what they've done to you." Myra's lips parted, but words failed. Her girls stared, curious. Caleb knelt to their level, offering a shy smile. "I've got a ranch. Room for you all." The village buzzed with whispers as Caleb stood by Mira. She hesitated, fear warring with hope. Her husband's threats echoed in her mind. Stay, and he'd hurt her again. Caleb's offer was a lifeline, but could she trust him? His eyes held no malice, only a quiet ache. Lila tugged Myra's hand, whispering, "He seems kind, Mama." Myra's resolve wavered. Maybe this was their chance. Caleb led the way, his horse pulling a creaky wagon. Mira sat with her girls, their few belongings bundled tightly. The village faded behind them, its judgment left in the dust. Rose hummed softly, her voice calming Ivy's whimpers. Mira watched Caleb's broad shoulders, wondering what drove him. A man alone, offering shelter to outcasts, it didn't add up. Yet his silence felt safe, steady. The ranch appeared at dawn, sprawling under a pink sky. Fences stretched across rolling hills, cattle lowing in the distance. The house was simple, weathered but sturdy. Myra's girls gasped, eyes wide with wonder. Caleb scratched his neck, awkward. "Ain't much, but it's home." Mira stepped down, her feet touching free soil. For the first time in years, she breathed without fear. Inside, the house smelled of wood and leather. Caleb showed them a room with 4 small beds, blankets neatly folded. "For you and the girls," he said gruffly. Lila ran to a window, pointing at a calf outside. Myra's throat tightened. This was more kindness than she'd known in years. But trust came hard. She watched Caleb, searching for hidden motives. His eyes stayed soft, unguarded. Days passed, and the ranch became a haven. Mira cooked, her hands steady for the first time in months. The girls explored, chasing chickens and giggling under the sun. Caleb taught Lila to ride a horse, her laughter echoing across the fields. Mira watched from the porch, her heart torn. This life felt like a dream, but dreams could shatter. She couldn't shake the fear of her husband's return. Caleb worked the land, his hands rough but gentle with the girls. He carved a wooden doll for Ivy, who clung to it at night. Mira noticed his quiet ways, how he left wildflowers by the door, never pushing for thanks. She began to talk with him at dusk, sharing small pieces of her past. Caleb listened, his silence a balm. He spoke little of his own pain, but Mira saw it in his eyes, a mirror of her own. One night, Mira found Caleb by the fire, staring at an old photo. "My sister," he said, voice thick. "Lost her to a cruel man. Couldn't save her." Mira's breath caught. His offer wasn't pity, it was penance. She touched his arm, a fleeting gesture. "You're saving us," she whispered. Caleb looked away, but his shoulders eased. For the first time, Mira felt they were bound by more than necessity. The girls thrived, their cheeks rosy from fresh air. Rose drew pictures in the dirt, Ivy sang to the cows, and Lila followed Caleb like a shadow. Mira's bruises faded, though her heart still carried scars. She began to smile, tentative at first, then freely. Caleb noticed, his own smiles rare but warm. The ranch was no longer just his, it was theirs, a fragile new family built on shared healing. A storm brewed on the horizon, dark clouds rolling in. Mira felt it too, a prickle of dread. Word reached the ranch. Her husband, Eli, was searching for her. The village had betrayed her location. Caleb's jaw tightened when she told him. "He won't touch you," he vowed. Mira wanted to believe him, but fear gnawed at her. She hugged her girls, their small bodies trembling against hers. Caleb prepared the ranch, checking fences and locking gates. He showed Mira a rifle, teaching her to aim. "Just in case," he said, his voice calm but firm. She nodded, her hands shaking. The girls sensed the tension, staying close. Lila asked, "Will the bad man come, Mama?" Mira forced a smile. "We're safe here." But her eyes met Caleb's, and they both knew the truth. Trouble was coming. At midnight, hoofbeats echoed in the distance. Mira's heart raced as she peered through the window. A lone rider approached, Eli. His face was twisted with rage, visible even in the moonlight. Caleb stepped onto the porch, rifle in hand. "Stay inside," he told Mira. She clutched the girls, praying. Eli's voice boomed, "Mira, you're mine." Caleb stood tall, his shadow a shield against the night. Eli dismounted, his fists clenched. "Give her back, rancher," he snarled. Caleb's voice was steady. "She's free now, leave." Eli laughed, cold and cruel, stepping closer. Mira watched, frozen, as Caleb raised the rifle. "I don't want blood," Caleb said, "but I'll protect them." Eli's eyes narrowed, weighing his odds. The girls whimpered behind Mira, their fear a knife in her heart. Eli lunged, a blade glinting in his hand. Caleb fired a warning shot, the crack splitting the night. Eli froze, cursing. "You'll regret this," he spat, but he backed away, mounting his horse. "I'll be back." His threat hung heavy as he rode off. Mira rushed to Caleb, her hands shaking. "Thank you," she whispered. He nodded, eyes still on the horizon, watching for shadows. Dawn broke, the ranch quiet but tense. Caleb and Mira sat, planning. "He'll return," Caleb said. "We need help." Mira agreed, her resolve hardening. They rode to a neighboring ranch, where Caleb's old friend, Amos, pledged men and guns. The girls stayed with Amos's wife, safe for now. Mira felt a fire growing inside her. She'd fight for her daughters, for this new life, no matter what. Back at the ranch, Caleb and Mira fortified the house. They boarded windows, stacked sandbags. Mira's hands were steady now, her fear turning to defiance. Caleb watched her, pride in his eyes. "You're stronger than you know," he said. She met his gaze, a spark passing between them. For the first time, Mira felt not just protected, but powerful. The ranch was her home now, worth defending. The girls returned, their laughter a fragile gift. Lila helped Caleb with chores, while Rose and Ivy drew in the dirt. Mira watched, her heart full yet heavy. She and Caleb worked side by side, their bond unspoken but deep. At night, they sat by the fire, sharing stories of hope, not pain. Mira began to see a future here, with Caleb, if they could survive what was coming. A week later, dust rose on the horizon. Eli wasn't alone. 3 men rode with him, hired muscle. Caleb signaled Amos's men, hidden in the hills. Mira stood ready, rifle in hand, her girls safe in the cellar. Eli's voice carried, demanding her surrender. Caleb stepped forward, calm but unyielding. "This ends now," he said. Myra's heart pounded, but she stood beside him, ready to fight. The standoff was tense, the air thick with threat. Eli's men drew weapons, but Amos's crew emerged, outnumbering them. Caleb spoke, voice like iron. "Leave, or you won't walk away." Eli hesitated, his bravado crumbling. Mira stepped forward, rifle steady. "I'm not yours anymore," she said. Eli's face twisted, but he saw the odds. With a curse, he signaled retreat, his men following. The dust settled, the threat gone for now. Mira collapsed into Caleb's arms, relief washing over her. The girls ran from the cellar, clinging to her. Amos's men cheered, but Caleb stayed quiet, his hand on Myra's shoulder. She looked at him, eyes shining. "We did it," she said. He nodded, a rare smile breaking through. The ranch was theirs, a sanctuary forged in courage and trust. Months passed, the ranch thriving. Mira planted a garden, the girls helping. Lila rode horses with Caleb, Rose painted the fences, and Ivy sang to the flowers. Mira and Caleb grew closer, their bond unspoken but certain. The village's scorn faded into memory. Mira felt whole, her scars no longer defining her. The ranch was home, its silence now filled with laughter and love. One evening, Caleb found Mira on the porch, watching the sunset. He sat beside her, their shoulders touching. "You're home now," he said softly. Mira nodded, her hand finding his. "We all are," she replied. The girls' laughter echoed from the yard, a song of freedom. For the first time, Mira believed in forever, not just survival, but a life built on trust, healing, and hope. The stars emerged, blanketing the ranch in light. Caleb and Mira sat in silence, no words needed. The girls slept inside, safe and loved. The lonely rancher was no longer alone, and the woman once broken now stood tall. Together, they'd faced the past and won. The ranch stretched before them, a promise of new beginnings, where pain was only a memory, and love was the foundation of home.